Good evening, all. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, all of you? Hello. Hello. पण ऐकू येते का? Can you hear me? And class also, or slide also is not visible. Okay, okay. अच्छा, फोनवरच हे झालंय का तुमचं? ओके, 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 फाईन, फाईन. Can you? Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I audible? Hello. Okay. So we will start. We will start the class. Today we are going to learn food as medicine. This is the latest recommendation by the National Institute of Nutrition, which says that food promotes health, prevents hidden hunger, and protects from disease. So this I am not saying, NIN is saying. So that means definitely it prevents the disease, promotes health, and protects us from disease. So we will understand which foods and how to consume, how much to consume, and what not to consume if the food has to be medicine. Food is a way for us to connect with our origins and culture, and it is possible to love our food, to love our health. Now, here in this picture, you can see a beautiful lady holding one apple in one hand and medicine in the other. Okay, she is holding the apple at a higher level than the medicines. I have not told her to do that. This is okay picture I have taken from the net, and this means that okay, food is definitely valued higher than medicine. Okay, even this picture indicates. And what Hippocrates says more than 2000 years back said, let food be thy medicine. So today we will understand what is the meaning of this particular thing he said around 2000 plus years back. And let me be very clear, we are not discussing here today food versus medicine, but we are talking about food and medicine. Okay, both are required. Medicine also is required, but food is very, very important and according to me, it is the best medicine on earth that is available to us. So there is a Ayurvedic proverb which says, when diet is wrong, medicine is of no use, and when diet is correct, medicine is of no need. So that means, okay, there is no need of medicine at all in our whole life, because if the diet is correct, you do not need the medicines. That is how our ancestors and yogis lived hundreds of years perfectly in health. So there is another Chinese proverb which says, he who takes medicine and neglects diet wastes the skill of the physician. There are so many things who tell us that, okay, food is more important than medicine. So now we teach and learn in our medical colleges, okay, nutrition, diet, and everything. So here we have understood that food can be used to promote health, prevent disease, treat disease, and even for rehabilitation. But one important thing is, one size does not fit all. Very, very important concept. But unfortunately, what many people understand from the recommendations that are given by scientific institutions or organizations like National Institute of Nutrition, that adult male sedentary worker has to consume, say, 375 grams of cereals. That means there are thousands and thousands of adult male sedentary workers, all have to consume 375 grams of cereals. That is what is understood commonly by common people. Okay, adult female sedentary worker 270 grams, and now my plate, okay, recommends 270 grams for both men and women if the requirement is 2000 calories. So that means people understand that one size fits all. That's not, okay, correct. Very, very important concept that we have to understand is, we have to, okay, make the food tailor made to each individual depending on various factors. So you are all what you eat. That is a old saying. Or we are what we eat. But what I say is, we are what we do with what we eat. Okay? Or you are what you do with what you eat. What exactly is the meaning of this? I may be taking perfectly balanced diet as per the recommendation of the NIN, okay, keeping a maybe balance in front of me and taking exactly measured quantities, but still my digestion, absorption, utilization may not be normal, so it will not be useful. So metabolism is more important than nutrients and calories. This we have to understand. And next thing is, you are what they did to what you eat. Who are they? The food processing industry. This is becoming more important in the present day, because food processing turns food into slow poison. That we do not understand. And most of the people who are working and who are busy in their daily schedule, they consume mostly the processed food, which is unfortunately very tasty, smells well, smells very nice, and therefore they think that's a very good food. But this is not true. So food processing industry is the most important enemy for health. Now, hypocrites that we have already seen, what he said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. So this exactly the same concept is told in our scriptures. Like I have quoted two shlokas from Bhagavad Gita here, chapter 6 and 16th shloka says, Natyashnatastu yogosti nachaikantamanashnatah nachati swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna. The meaning of this I'll tell you, not word by word translation. Okay, the one who eats too much or the one who doesn't eat at all, the one who sleeps too much or one who doesn't sleep at all, okay, yoga will not benefit him. Okay, in ancient days, yoga was supposed to be the best practice for remaining healthy, okay, for all of us. And even today, we are turning to yoga. So what they say is, yoga will not benefit you at all if you are extreme. Too much of food, no food. Too much of sleeping, no sleeping. This is what lifestyle. Okay. So now we are saying that lifestyle diseases. This is said 5,000 years back in Bhagavad Gita. And the next shloka says, Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu Yukta Swapnamabodhasya Yogo Bhavati Dukkha. In the previous sloka, they said yoga will not benefit. Okay, here they say yoga will destroy all your sorrows, all your problems, that is health related problems. When and how? Yuktahara viharasya. They have used the word yukta. Okay, that's what I said before, that one size does not fit. They have said yukta. We have to understand the meaning of yukta. Okay, so yukta ahara vihara. Okay, yukta cheshtasya karmasu. If our and yukta sapnama bodhasya, sleeping, diet, our recreation, our activities, our sleep, okay, all these things, if they are proper, then yogo bhavati dukkha. Yoga will help you, okay, to destroy all your sorrows, dukkha. All dukkha will be disappearing. So this is what is said 5,000 years back, and not a single comma, not a full stop has changed, and it is still valid. But you look at our NIN recommendations, okay, every 20 years or maybe less than that, they will, okay, change the recommendations. Recently, I met the NIN director in Hyderabad when I went for the conference. Unfortunately, conference was in NIN campus only, and I asked them why you cannot make a recommendation for 100 years. And they said that as and when we gather evidence, okay, new evidence comes, we will have to change, okay, according to the evidence that we get. That means today we are depending entirely on evidence-based medicine. Okay, but our scriptures are giving you, okay, without any evidence those days, but what is valid, okay, even today. So what I mean is, okay, yes, we have to go by scientific recommendations because they are in vogue today, but do not, okay, neglect what is mentioned in our scriptures. So do we have evidence to say food can be used as medicine? This is what many people question. When I say food is medicine, food can be used as medicine, what is the evidence available? Research shows that dietary habits influence disease risk. What you choose to eat has profound effect on your overall health. While certain foods may trigger chronic health conditions, all of us know, and others offer strong medicinal and protective qualities. Thus, many scientists argue that food is medicine. So here are some of the examples of evidence. So diet for reversal of heart disease in 1950, okay, a great, okay, physician Pritikin, okay, said that he is called as the man who healed American heart. He said diet will reverse heart disease, and this was accepted worldwide, but unfortunately forgotten very quickly. Reversing heart disease using diet and lifestyle modifications in 1993. Okay, Dean Ornish, all of us know. Okay, this is the best-selling book at that time, and evidence was published in all leading scientific journals, and the whole world again accepted it, but forgot quickly. Now, in the Indian, okay, program also, we have evidence from India also, like Bimal Chajar. He is a physician. He was a physician at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, and he also had, okay, similar views that heart disease can be prevented by lifestyle modification. All these three programs, there are n number of programs other than this, but I have taken only these three. All three programs involve diet and lifestyle modifications and promise to reverse chronic disease and enhance health. They involve making comprehensive lifestyle changes and following a low fat, plant based diet. See, mark this point. Okay, they are telling, I am not telling this, two American doctors and one Indian doctor telling plant based diet filled with fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. Now we are coming back to the same recommendation, okay, after so many years. So this is again matching with what our scriptures say. Okay, again in Bhagavad Gita, Ayuh Sattva Bala Arogya Sukha Priti Vivardhanaha Rasya Snigdha Sthira Hridya Ahara Satvika Priyaha. So this is called as Satvika food in Sanskrit, where I take it as healthy food. Okay, Rasya, Snigdha, Sthira, Hrudya, exactly the same as, okay, filled with fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. So this is what is, okay, the beauty of our scriptures, and we are coming back to scriptures after so many years of research. and so many scientific evidences helping us to come to the same knowledge that our ancestors gave us, the wisdom of the ancestors gave us. Now, foods that we eat activate our health defense systems. How we become healthy, or how food acts as a medicine, if somebody asks, we can explain by these things. Okay, we have got health defense system, and certain foods activate these health defense systems. What are these health defense systems? DNA modification mechanism is one. Okay, stem cells is second one, where there is regeneration of the cells, and microbiome in the gut, okay, immune system, and angiogenesis. These five are called as health defense systems, and health is a result of our hardwired health defense systems. This is very, very important concept. We have to understand that. Now, all of you know that the glyceryl trinitrate is used for angina, because the nitric oxide that is released is a vasodilator. And Western people recommend hot dog, okay, because it contains, okay, nitrates. Whereas scientific studies have proven that our palak, okay, which is a common green leafy vegetable used all over the country, has got 23 times more nitrates, and the beetroot that we consume commonly has 15 times, okay, more nitrates when compared to hot dog. So again, plant-based. So plant-based nitrates are not harmful. This is very, very important again. Whereas hot dog is definitely useful, but it has got its own disadvantages, which are concealed by the marketing industry. People drinking beet juice, the scientific evidence here again, okay, this has been published, have shown 9-point reduction in the, okay, blood pressure. So this is very, very important, because just simply drinking beet juice reduces your blood pressure. Now, another important scientific finding, soy protein and mortality from breast cancer. So this study was done in Shanghai. Soy intake in 5,042 breast cancer survivors, not 1 or 2 or 100 or 200, 5,042 breast cancer survivors, where it showed that 29% decrease in the risk of death and 32% decrease in the recurrence. All of us know that breast cancer, once it occurs, it recurs either in the another breast or in the same breast even after treatment. And how much of soy protein we have to take? Just simple 10 grams of soy protein per day is enough to have these effects. Plant estrogen, how does it act? Plant estrogen blocks the effect of human estrogen. Okay, there is a substance called as genistein, okay, which is a phytoestrogen, which is similar in structure to human estrogen, and it blocks the effect of human estrogen, similar to the action of tamoxifen, which is used in the treatment of breast cancer. Another important, okay, point is angiogenesis, which is another important health defense system in our body. Angiogenesis is very, very important for regeneration. Whenever we have got wound, wound healing takes place by angiogenesis. The cells multiply using angiogenesis. But the same thing has been hijacked by cancer, where there is uncontrolled multiplication of cells, where they require large number of blood vessels and blood supply. So this angiogenesis is actually a curse here in cancer. So that has to be prevented if you want to prevent or control cancer. So very, very, very important scientific finding is the common tomatoes that we consume consist of a substance called as lycopene, which has got angiogenesis reducing or stopping effect. This is a health professional follow-up study carried out in 46,719 men. They consume 2 or more servings of tomato sauce per week. It was associated with reduced risk of development of prostate cancer by 30%. This was published in the Journal of National Cancer Institute, very reputed journal. So even those who did develop prostate cancer, okay, the biopsy showed that the tumor vessel area was reduced and the tumor vessel abnormalities were also less. That means you will not get the cancer. Even if you get the cancer, it's a milder form of cancer. This is very, very important. But one important point here we have to understand is the all of us consume tomato, almost everyone, but still so many people are getting cancer. Why is that? Or prostate cancer. Okay, why is that? because cooked in water, okay, only 20% of lycopene is available. So if you cook tomatoes in oil, particularly in olive oil, okay, the availability becomes 80%. So that is the important concept. Here you see tomatoes cooked in water, only 20% lycopene levels are seen in the body, whereas tomatoes cooked in olive oil, particularly, any oil is okay, better than water, but olive oil, if it is available, 80%. Therefore, the importance of Mediterranean diet, where they use olive oil and olives. Now here we have shown 4 varieties of tomatoes which contains the highest level of lycopenes. If you really want highest level, these different types of tomatoes you may consume, but the normally available tomato in our market is good enough if you cook it in oil. Now, the cardiovascular disease involving impaired blood flow, it affects two things: coronary arteries and peripheral arterial disease. Each affects more than 30 million people in G7 countries, and barley consumption increases cardioprotection. So, the scientific report shows that the long-term intake of pasta containing barley, okay, reduces the incidence of both these things. So another important finding, urosolic acid increases neovascularization. That means if there is an injury and the regeneration has to take place, okay, or new tissue has to grow, you require vascularization. And the peel of the fruits, particularly the apple peel, okay, is very rich in this urosolic acid, which has got the property of neovascularization. Unfortunately, most of us remove the peel and eat apple. So from tomorrow, please do not remove the peel. With the peel only, if you eat, you will get that benefit. Now see in this picture, okay, here there is no vascular, okay, evidence, but here, okay, after consumption of this peel of apples, there is a regeneration of vasculature. So these are the foods which are rich, and they angiogenesis is, okay, stimulated by these foods. There are a large number, but commonly available in our country are apple peel, onions, and sesame seeds. Stem cells. 50% of human adult stem cells activity is lost during aging. So stem cell therapies are being developed to regenerate aging organs. This is common knowledge. Now, omega-3 fatty acids stimulate stem cells in diabetes. This was the evidence which is available. Okay. Function of the stem cells is, you see, okay, increased here significantly. P-value is less than 0.01, and these omega-3 fatty acids, okay, available in certain kinds of fish. This simple cocoa. Now, people drinking hot cocoa, that they contain flavanols, 2 cups per day, not more than that, has seen adult stem cells circulating in the bloodstream double or more than double in 1 month. So food that stimulates stem cells are green beans, green tea, pistachio, and spinach and turmeric in our country, but others are also available. If they are available, you can use any one of them. Now, foods and stem cell, you see, researchers attribute the risk reduced in Okinawans to eat, this is a place in Japan, to eating fewer calories, consuming lots of fruits and vegetables, eating healthy fats, eating plenty of fiber, and staying physically active. Their bones are healthy. Okinawans also have less risk of hip fractures than Americans. Why? Because they contain the dietary patterns that harm stem cells are high fat, high salt, and hyperglycemic. The Western countries were using consuming this type of food, and gradually they're reducing this. But unfortunately, in India, we are increasing, okay, the foods containing high fat, high salt, and hyperglycemic, particularly the food that is ordered from the marketing industry, food marketing industry. The foods, okay, that enhance stem cells are Mediterranean diet, Okinawan diet, calorie restrictions, and intermittent fasting, or a very, very important concept. And in India, we have got, okay, all religions recommend fasting, and if you follow that recommendation, it will definitely help our health. Okay. Simple broccoli, okay, stimulates immune system. University of North Carolina, University of Children's Hospital, Basel, Stanford University carried out a research. They enrolled 29 healthy volunteers, 2 cups of broccoli sprouts in shake, okay, and placebo were given to 2 different groups, only just 4 days, and they delivered nasal flu vaccine on day 2. Sprout eaters had 22 times more natural killer T cells when compared to the controls. So that means simple broccoli is also a good stimulant of our immune system. Foods to boost immune system during COVID. We all have used this and we all know this. Foods rich in vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and zinc. Mushrooms. Simply, cut them in small slices, exposed to sunlight. Just keep in the window for some time, and there is a tremendous increase in the vitamin D, and beta glucan increases antibodies in saliva. This is a very simple thing you can use at home. Olive oil, okay, particularly this EU type. Okay, I don't know what is this type. There are different types of olive oils, they say, but for me, simple olive oil is also good. Pomegranate juice activates healthy gut bacteria. Okay, tomatoes, oranges, guava, broccoli, okay, pecans, a particular dry fruit. I have not seen that, therefore I have put the picture here. Okay, I have not seen this first time. I am looking at this picture, but they are all considered to be boosting our immune system. Real food is low sugar, high fiber. This is called as a healthy food. Very, very important. Now, processed food is high sugar and low fiber. See, exactly opposite. Okay, low sugar, high fiber is healthy food, but processed food is high sugar and low or no fiber at all. Therefore, it is a slow poison. The label on the food, processed food contains label. It's a warning that says, please do not buy me. That is the meaning of the label for me. Okay, but for you may be just reading how many calories and how many grams of proteins and what vitamins and what minerals and others. For me, any label on the food is a warning. Please don't buy me. That is what is the warning label I see in that. Real food does not need any label. Okay, best food is single foods in the grocery shop. Okay, independently available there. They are not labeled. They are simply kept there, and that is a good food, healthy food. Food processing converts real food into slow poison. Pay the farmer now. Now, you see, some people say organic foods are little costly. Yes, they may be costly, but they are healthy. Therefore, either you pay the farmer now or pay the doctor later. All food is inherently good. Processing makes it harmful. So, from today onwards, please reduce the consumption of processed food if you are already consuming. There are different types of foods, all of us know. Okay, and in Bhagavad Gita also, they have mentioned Aharastvapi sarvasya trividho bhavati priyah yajnastapastatha danam tesham bhedamimam shrunu. That's what Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna. There are 3 types of foods, and what is the difference? Okay, listen from me. I am telling you. That's what he says. Ayus sattva balarogya sukha priti vardhanaah rasya snigdha stiraradya ahara sattvika priyah. These are called as sattvika food. For me, they are the healthy food. Okay, whatever is sattvic said in Bhagavad Gita is a healthy food. What is that? Rasya snigdha stira hrudya. Okay, that means the ones which are rasa bharita, okay, Kannadadalli or even other languages, okay, all those fruits and vegetables and grains, they are the healthy ones. We must consume these foods mainly. Katvam la lavanatyushna tikshna ruksha vidahinah ahara rajasasyeshta dukkha shokamaya pradaha. These foods will give you dukkha and shoka, they are telling. What are they? Katu, Amla, Lavana, Ati Ushna, Tikshna, Ruksha. Okay, these are simple words in many languages we can understand. I will not be translating literally. These foods are not good for health. That is what is the meaning. Yata Yata Yamangatarasam Puti Paryushitainchayat Uchishtamati Chamedyam Bhojanam Tamasa Priyam. So these 2 foods are to be shunned. Okay, only the first, that is Satvika food, has to be consumed. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Same thing translated in English. Sattvic food promoting life, virtue, strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. These are juicy, bland, substantial, and agreeable foods. Rajasic foods, they are excessively pungent, sour, salty, hot, harsh, astringent, and burnt, leading to pain, misery, and sickness. Tamasic foods are stale, tasteless, smelly, leftover foods, rotten, and foul. So the first category only is a healthy food. Now, what to eat? Very important. Okay, we have listened to all these things. We are confused. What to eat to remain healthy? Any food that protects the liver and feeds the gut is very important. I am not telling this. Dr. Robert Lustig, a pediatric neuroendocrinologist, author of the book Metabolical, very important book. If anybody gets hold of this book, please read this. Okay, what he says is any food that protects the liver and feeds the gut, any food that does not that does neither is a poison, complete. Okay, and protects the liver from mono and disaccharides, branched chain amino acids, iron, and heavy metals. These are the things which harm our liver, and we have to protect the liver from these things. Excess sugar is turned into liver fat. So this liver fat is either turned into triglycerides, that is a cardiovascular risk, or deposited in the liver as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. There is an epidemic of this non-alcoholic fatty liver disease all over the world, even in India. Okay, this will set up type 2 diabetes, cirrhosis, insulin resistance, etc. So we have to protect the liver from these foods. Protect the liver from branched chain amino acids like valine, leucine, and isoleucine. Excess gets turned into fat liver. Feed the gut. Food we eat is both for us and the bacteria in the gut. Feed the bacteria in your gut to be healthy. But bacteria love fiber. Okay, that's very important. And processed food, I told you, is devoid of fiber. Therefore, if the bacteria in the gut are not healthy, you cannot be healthy. Okay, the fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, whole grains are very important for these bacteria, and that is what our scriptures were telling again. Rasya snigdha stira hridya. I repeat the same thing. Okay, all these foods which are containing fiber, fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, whole grains, etc. That's what is sattvic food, and that is what is good according to the scientific evidence which is given by the American scientists. Meat from animals fed on concentrated animal feeding operations, okay, they contain antibiotics and such meat, and there is no fiber also. This is harmful. And in the market, what you see, most of the meat that is marketed and sold is got from this particular operation that is called CAFO, concentrated animal feeding operations, that will increase the quantity of flesh in the animals, and therefore they feed these animals on these and give antibiotics also. So there is a gut dysfunction as microbiome is affected by the antibiotics present in this particular meat. More than 200 foods so activate our health defense system. Mainly they are fruits, vegetables, spices, legumes, and seafoods, dairy products, fermented foods, etc. They are found in traditional cultures of every society. Very important. Okay, that means we don't have to go and search. They are available in our society, especially Mediterranean diet and the Asian diet. Eating to beat disease is not just picking a particular disease and trying to figure out the recipe for that disease. That is one size. It doesn't fit all. So we will have to have a lifelong habit of healthy food, eating healthy food. It is a lifelong eating habit from early childhood. Parents and school meal programs have an opportunity to feed the children with foods that beat the disease. This is very important. We will have to spread this in school health programs and midday school, whoever is okay advising there. We have to inculcate this habit from childhood, because you cannot just have one particular disease and then say, okay, which food to take, how to cure that disease. That is not practical. We will have to develop this habit from childhood. Breastfeeding helps the child beat disease by shaping the microbiome right, one of the health defense systems in the body. Therefore, exclusive breastfeeding is another way of beating the disease. Now, what to eat we have understood, how much to eat. Okay. Now, this is Dr. William Lee, one of the most renowned scientists, okay, in America. He is renowned Chinese American doctor, scientist, angiogenesis expert, and author of the book Eat to Beat Disease. Again, very important book. Anybody finds this book, please read this. What he says is, to be healthy, leave the party before it is over. That means do not fill your stomach or overfill your stomach. Not more than 80% full. That's what he says. Every time, don't eat more than 80%. But unfortunately, we have got the habit of, okay, forcing after everything is finished. Also, we say, okay, one more sweet, one more, okay, serving or something of that sort. That is our tradition. But for health, that is not good. And what our scriptures are saying in this area also. So Indian scriptures say, Purayet annenardham dvitiyam udakenatu vayu sancharanaarthaya chaturtham avasheshayet. That's what it says. That means you divide the stomach into four halves, fill only half with the food, it says, and one fourth with the water. That means three-fourths full. One fourth you leave it vayu charane. That means, you see, all of you have used mixers, and in mixers you cannot full up to the brim. You leave one fourth, okay, empty, and then the mixer will have mixing effect very well. That is what is happening in the stomach. The food has to be mixed with the gastric juices, and therefore one fourth has to be empty. Now, Indian scripture says 75% full, and the latest scientific evidence is 80% full. That means how close the science is coming to what the scriptures have said, okay, hundreds or thousands of years back. Now, our scriptures again say 2 meals. There is no mention of, okay, any breakfast or any evening tea in any of the scriptures. And coming to the same, like Dikshit diet or so many diets which are recommending only 2 meals per day and nothing other than that, not even water sometimes. Okay, so that is what is coming back to the same scriptures. So these are the two shlokas which tell us about 75%. Annena purayet ardham toyena tu tritiyakam udarasya tu tritiyamsham saurakshet vayucharane, or purayet annena ardham tritiyam udakena tu vayu sancharanarthaya chaturtham avasheshayet. Both are telling only 75% you should fill. Now, coming back to the scientific evidence which all of us follow in our medical colleges, that is the dietary guidelines for Indians by National Institute of Nutrition. Now, you see, I have given three recommendations which are given by the NIN. Now, in 1990, NIN came out with the first edition of this dietary recommendations. I just compared what they have recommended for adult sedentary male worker, okay, because I cannot put the entire, okay, chart here. So one we will take, and in 1990 they said adult male should consume 460 grams of cereals. In 2011, second edition came, same NIN, they reduced it to 375 grams. Now in 2019, the My Plate for the day, they have said 270 grams, whether it is male or female, if it is 2000 calories. Now see the difference, 460. And wherever I go as examiner, people are still using the NIN first recommendation only. Okay, and the students answer this, and the teachers say, yes, it is given in the books, what can we do? And what is the recommendation? 270 grams today. Okay, same NIN. And you see, none of the recommendations which were given in the first edition are valid in the second edition or the third edition. So that means, okay, the scientific evidence with so much of research and so much of, okay, brainstorming, we are not able to come to a standard recommendation which can be followed by everyone for a longer period of time. That is where our scriptures, I think, are very, very good, and we have to follow particularly the diet recommendations given to us by our scriptures. Look at the many diseases and look for a common thread. Yeah, now coming back to how food can be used as medicine. Look at many diseases and look for a common thread for all those diseases so that we can prevent or treat them with one common factor, that is food. Now, food is common for all of these diseases. Thus, we will have economy of scale impact if we use food as medicine for so many diseases. Faulty diet is the number one cause of morbidity and mortality all over the world. There is a documented evidence for this. Disconnect between science and medicine practice is very, very unfortunate. I have shown you from 1953 onwards, thousands and thousands of, okay, articles are published in reputed journals, and still, okay, okay, we are not practicing that. So there is a disconnect between scientific evidence and medical practice. Use of power of science to generate new evidence, we can use that and implement that if we want food to be really used as medicine. Okay, wrong food is a cause of high mortality. This is the American report. You see, our food is killing too many of us. That's what they say. Poor diet is a leading cause of mortality in the United States, causing more than 500,000 deaths per year. I am not saying this. Americans only are saying. Now here you see, it's much more. This is dietary risks, much more than tobacco use, high systolic blood pressure, okay, high body mass index, diabetes, all of them. Okay, more than that is dietary, okay, risk factors. Now, why? Because low nuts and seeds, low vegetables, low fruits, and low polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are there in our, okay, scriptures. Rasya snigdha sthanarudya means they contain all these things. What they are using? High processed meals, high sodium, high sugar sweetened beverages. These are the common foods they were using, therefore they have this problem. Now this is the, okay, if you understand economics only, for them 251 billion per year is spent, okay, on cancer related to, okay, the dietary risk factors. This is only related to, okay, dietary risk factors. 251 billion per year for cardiovascular disease, 327 billion per year for diabetes, and 1.72 trillion per year for obesity. See the how much of, okay, money is spent on these things. All this can be saved if we just correct our diet. Again, sustainability requirement for our planet also. Vegetables, nuts. Now, by 2050, this is what the United Nations says. I am not saying. By 2050, global consumption of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and legumes will have to double, and consumption of foods such as red meat and sugar will have to be reduced by 50% for, okay, sustainability. So even environment, okay, is telling us the same thing. Now, we are familiar with this agent, host, and environmental factors, and the interaction between these causes the disease. So when the disease agent is a nutrient, food as medicine becomes very, very effective. For example, in PM, vitamin A deficiency or vitamin C deficiency or such things, where the nutrient is the agent, okay, food becomes very effective medicine. So what is the take-home message today? Choose the healthy food that you already love. All of us love some or the other food, and if it is healthy, okay, choose it first. Cut out foods that are harmful to your health. You know what are the harmful foods, and gradually at least try to reduce them and cut out. Eat with moderation. Okay, that is 80% Western science, 70%, 75% Indian scriptures. So anything, okay, however good it is, don't overfill your stomach. Now, this is a important statement from Yuval Noah Harari. What he said: discovery consists of seeing what everyone has seen and thinking what no one has thought. Okay, this is very, very important. So everybody knows that food is important for our health. One of the most important determinants, because we are consuming from birth to death at least 3 times a day, and we must know the dose of this particular medicine if we want to be healthy. So thank you very much for a patient hearing. If you have any questions, you can just write in the chat box, or send me to my email ID. I will write here my email ID or my WhatsApp. Any questions, any comments, you can post in the chat box. Poonam, any questions you can see there? I don't see anyone. Okay, if there are no questions or no comments, I think I'll stop here. Thank you all.